How about the new thing in Minnesota with the Somalians? They stole, now it came out, the great U.S. attorney up there, they came out, think of this, $9 billion, and they think that's just the beginning. They stole, think of it, in their country, they live on nothing, they have nothing. They come here and they steal $9 billion. Are we stupid? I mean, how do we allow that to happen? Ilhan Omar should be sent out of our country. She should not be allowed to be a congresswoman.
Ladies and gentlemen, patriots, freedom-loving Americans, welcome back to the channel. What you're about to hear is not politically correct, and that's exactly why it matters. Today we're reacting to a clip where President Donald J. Trump calls out what he describes as massive corruption in Minnesota, involving welfare fraud, failed leadership, and a political class that seems completely immune from consequences. And whether you love Trump or hate him, one thing is absolutely clear. These questions are not being asked by the mainstream media, and that alone should terrify you.
She married her brother either to stay or to get him into the country. And yesterday she, I guess, made up a story. She said the police attacked her son. They stopped the car and the police said, we never attacked him. We never stopped him. It was a made-up story. She's a con person. She's full of con. She says, zero. She said, you ought to get her the hell out of our country. That's what you ought to do. She made up a story that the police stopped her son's car and they harassed the hell out of him. It turned out to be a fake story. There was no stoppage of his car, and there was no harassment. But think of that, in Minnesota, this beautiful place, once beautiful, I don't call it beautiful, you got a governor who's a stupid person, and he's corrupt and stupid. But he allowed this to go on. He allowed this to go on. Everybody knew what was going on. But what nobody knew is over $9 billion. And the people of Minnesota are not happy.
In the video, Trump goes straight for the jugular. No filter. No apologies. He calls out Representative Ilhan Omar, accuses Minnesota of allowing what he describes as billions of dollars in fraud, and places responsibilities squarely on Democrat leadership, from Congress all the way to the governor's office. Now let's pause right there, because the left will immediately scream, that's racist, or that's hate speech. But notice something important. Trump is not attacking everyday people. He's attacking politicians' policies and a system that failed taxpayers. And that distinction matters. Here's what the media won't tell you straight. Minnesota has already been rocked by documented, proven fraud scandals, especially involving pandemic relief and food assistance programs. Billions of taxpayer dollars, your money, were handed out with little oversight. So when Trump says, how does this happen? That's not hate. That's a legitimate question. Any serious country asks. Who approved the funds? Who failed to monitor them? Who looked the other way? And why is no senior official ever held accountable? Because here's the truth. Fraud doesn't happen on that scale without government failure. Now, Trump also targets Ilhan Omar directly. And whether you agree with his tone or not, criticism of an elected official is not off limits in a democracy. Ilhan Omar is not a private citizen. She's a member of Congress, one of the most powerful positions in the world. She has repeatedly criticized America, accused U.S. institutions of systemic evil, shown more sympathy for foreign causes than American taxpayers. So when Trump says she should be removed from Congress, that's not authoritarianism. That's political opposition. Democrats call for conservatives to be removed daily. But when the right does it, suddenly it's dangerous rhetoric. The double standard is exhausting. Trump also brings up allegations surrounding immigration integrity. Now let's be very clear. Every allegation should be investigated properly and fairly. But here's the real issue the left refuses to address. Back-end index pointing right public trust in the immigration system is collapsing. When Americans see open borders, weak vetting, no enforcement, fraud scandals tied to government programs, they stop trusting the system altogether. That's not racism. That's reality. A nation without borders, laws, and accountability is not a nation. Trump doesn't stop at Omar. He goes after Minnesota's governor, calling him corrupt and incompetent. And honestly, look at the results. Massive fraud, rising crime, businesses fleeing, citizens losing faith. Leadership is about outcomes, not intentions. You don't get credit for trying while taxpayers get robbed blind. If this happened under a Republican governor, CNN would be calling it a national emergency. But let me tell you what the real scandal is. It's not Trump's tone. It's not his blunt language. It's the fact that legacy media refuses to investigate deeply when corruption benefits the political left. No nightly countdown clocks. No wall-to-wall outrage. No serious follow-up. Just silence and spin. Here's my take as a right-wing patriot. America belongs to law-abiding citizens, not corrupt bureaucrats. Taxpayer money is not a blank check. And no politician, no matter their background, is above scrutiny. If you want unity, you start with truth. If you want trust, you start with accountability. And if you want America to survive, you stop silencing hard questions. Trump asked those questions. The system panicked. That tells you everything you need to know. If you believe in America first, accountability, and real journalism, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video. Because the truth doesn't need permission, and patriots don't back down.